There are a number of reasons why you'd want to replace the inner tank in a water heater, and primarily because the tank leaks. That's what happens, and that could be a result of too much corrosion, lack of maintenance, maybe it was not manufactured properly. Who knows? A number of things can happen.
And it doesn't take much of a leak. A little pinhole, after a while, it looks like you had a flood in there.
Right, and that's what you want to avoid. You don't want a flood inside your rig because that leads to dry rot and other problems. So rather than replace the entire water heater, we're going to go ahead and replace the inner tank because this saves a whole lot of money, because those water heaters are not cheap anymore. Huh?
They're not, especially when you add the electronics, but unfortunately Atwood's the only one that makes a replaceable inner tank. The rest of them do not.
We just so happen to have a tank here that needs replacing, and what's going to happen is we're going to use this inner tank, and this inner tank came with the electrical elements, so we're going to have both that. So we're going to do the whole installation.
Yeah, it even comes with a new pressure relief valve, which is important. You really want to replace that, because if the inner tank's got a leak or worn out or corroded, pressure relief valve is going to be bad also.
Okay, so you know the process is you know, it takes a little bit of time. It's not exactly overly complicated, but it takes some work. And I think, Bill, let's get started.
Yeah, why don't you grab that?
Let's go.
Let's go get it.
All right, we're ready to go. All right. After you, sir.
Boy, it does look more complicated than you think, well, doesn't it, when you look at it?
Now that you look at it, it looks complicated. But basically, we're going to unscrew it, and we're going to, well, actually, we're going to disconnect the propane first.
Did you turn the propane off?
I turned the propane off. But the other thing is, did you turn the water off?
I did.
You did. Okay,
yes.
So we're going to drain the water. So you want to do the honors on that?
Actually, can I even get on that? Oh, yeah, you know what, I can. So I'm going to open up the pressure relief valve.
I think you should stand in front of it, Bill.
Yeah, I think you ought to stand in front of it. You got the waterproof shoes.
You got the waterproof legs.
Ooh. All right. Makes it a little bit of a mess, so if you're doing it out in the dirt lot, it's going to get muddy. You might want to take some cardboard or plywood. So let's let that drain.
We'll let it drain for a minute, and then we're going to take it apart. So who is going to unscrew it, and who's going to do the putty work?
Well, I'll unscrew it.
Oh, no. I think we flip for the putty.
Well, we'll flip for the putty.
We'll flip for the putty. You ready to flip for the putty?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. You want to call it?
Yeah, heads, of course. It's always heads.
Tails.
Ah, man.
I unscrew, you putty.
All right.
Okay. Screw gun.
Screw gun.
I'm going to have to move in here. Let me swap the spots with you, Bill.
All right, let me go over here. You know what? I think this door is going to have to come off. You want to grab that? I'm going to knock out this hinge pin, because otherwise it's going to be right in the way of...
Exactly here. Okay, set that down here for now.
There, that'll give you better access to the screws. It's got to come off anyway.
Right.
That's a lot of screws for a 15-pound water heater, isn't it?
No kidding. All right, it's all yours.
So yeah, before we pull this, I'm gonna remove everything from the front of it. You want to trade me places? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot easier.
I guess we'll go with the gas line first, huh? It goes without saying that we're not going to do this until the water inside this tank is cooled.
Yeah, well, you'd figure it out real quick.
Well, unfortunately, you don't want to learn that the hard way, but...
No, these things do get hot. The thermostats are set at 140 degrees, so they're pretty warm. Now, this stuff pretty much only goes back the same way. There's not a lot to it, but if you're in doubt, take a picture.
Right, take a picture or a video. You don't know exactly what to do.
Wait a minute.
Yep, one more piece.
Yeah, Anytime you pull these wires off of this thermostat, use a pair of pliers rather than yanking on it real hard, because it can destroy the thermostat.
Okay, well.
I need to pull this off too. I'm gonna pretty much just get everything I can off of here.
Might as well when you have access to it, no sense in to bend over.
It's easier when it's inside the coach instead of having to try to hold the water heater down unless like wrestling a snake or something. Well, let me take this baffle off of here. It's going to be in the way, and we're going to have to reuse this. Make sure that you reuse all the parts.
Yeah, you have to hold on to the parts because you don't get a whole lot of these parts.
Yeah, there's a reason that this baffle is in there, and it needs it, so make sure you put that back. Everything's looking pretty good. Let me pull the wires.
Boy, you have to be really careful with that so you don't yank them out.
Real careful. I'm gonna put it like a screwdriver in between here, right in the middle of that thermostat.
Yeah. So what happens is after a while being outside, those things can get a little bit corroded.
Well, they're pretty tight though. They've got to be snug so you don't get a bad connection. So.
And again, here's where pictures will come in handy, because now those wires just got mixed up. If you didn't know what you were doing, you'd probably forget it. So if you had a picture, you know exactly where to put them. I mean, they're actually marked here, but sometimes what happens is over time, the elements will actually fade this piece over here, and you may not be able to see it as clearly.
Yeah, one of these is a thermostat that dictates the temperature. The other one's an ECO, emergency cutoff. So if for some reason the thermostat fails, and for some reason the TP valve, the pressure relief valve fails, the emergency cutoff.
In case you get the pressure becomes, or the temperature becomes excessive, then this thing will shut down. Okay, Bill, I guess you're getting pretty close to removing these collars so we can get this front plate off, huh?
Pretty close.
Yeah, we got to get the pressure relief valve out.
The thermostat and the ECO out too. Okay. So these just kind of, there's a little plastic piece in here that kind of, you got to kind of get them started and pop them out of there. There we go. See, they're
yeah, right. You want to be careful so you don't want to be breaking these things and have to get new ones.
No, and they are easy to break. They're a little bit brittle, so be kind of careful with them.
The water tank is. So.
And then the pressure relief valve. Now these can be pretty tight. You can use either a large crescent wrench or just a pair of channel locks work great. We're going to replace this, so it doesn't matter if you get it scarred up or anything like that. No, and it really doesn't scar them up anyway.
No, but you want it to look pretty though, right?
Well, sure, why not?
Okay, good.
I'm gonna put that over to the side, and while this thing is still down pretty tight, I'm gonna break these rings loose here because they are not easy if you're having to fight these things.
Well, for obvious reasons, they have to be on there pretty secure.
Yeah, if they're not on there, the face plate's just not going to stay in place.
Yeah. There you go. There's one. We get this thing off.
Yeah, and that asbestos gasket is critical too.
Right,
so.
and we have new ones to put on there.
Right. My holder.
A nice screwdriver holder.
If you don't have tin snips, a heavy pair of wire cutters or something will work.
Yeah, but it won't work as nicely as tin snips.
No, it really does not. It's a lot tougher.
I'll get my fingernail underneath that thing.
And I've got one more hinge pin I want to take off here. Oop. Want to grab, let's peel those off because we need to save these for.
This one here, you might get a screwdriver under it first. There you go. All right.
Okay, I've got every. Oh, you know what? I need to get that goop
there, huh?
from around. Yeah. One of the reasons that you'll see all these gaskets, and you see there's a gasket around the valve here, and the gas line is sealed, it produces carbon monoxide, so it needs to be sealed from the inside of the coach. And usually they get so much goop on here, it really makes it tough.
It normally messes up that gasket there.
The gasket's already a split gasket, and they just put some.
I tell you, the industry has a real good handle on sticky sealants, don't they?
So I'm just going to shove this right in there. Putty knife and a hammer. So I'm going to.
So you lost the
I lost the coin toss.
Coin toss. So you got to do the work.
Yeah. That's all right. I've done a bunch. So just a putty knife and a hammer, we just go right around the edge because we're going to scrape this all clean and put new putty tape and some new sealer. Okay, even though I lost a coin toss, you got to do that side.
Oh man. Wait a minute here.
I know, life's never fair, is it?
Okay, you ready to roll here? Might be.
I thought I was, but.
Well, let me use this putty knife here to help play that a little bit.
They can be stuck in there pretty good.
Yeah. There's some good tape in there.
And we're bending this flange around here also. It's not going to hurt. It'll go right back, but it sure makes it a lot easier if you can bend it out of your way part of the time.
Okay, this one's going to come out eventually.
Yeah, they got some of the goo.
Yeah, well, this goo is right here. We go.
Underneath.
If you rock it towards me.
It's right here. It's stuck. Oh, be careful now. We still got wires here.
Yep.
And this one yellow wire to the relay, they always make that thing really short. So let me get the cutters here and cut.
We're going to have to butt connect that guy.
Yeah, we're going to have to butt connect. These wires have wire nuts, but. So I'm going to check the code here. We have green to green, blue to blue, white to white, and orange to orange. So we don't have to mark these because it's pretty obvious which way they're going to go back.
But it's always a good idea to look before you take apart.
Always, yeah, because some of the manufacturers they'll have all kinds of different colored wires.
Whatever wire they get their hands on sometimes.
Now, I'm going to get the gas line out of the way a little bit here. So now you see what's the inner tank. Here's the styrofoam, the inner tank. This is what we're going to replace, this whole assembly. Before we can do that, we got to go inside, take the water lines off the inside, and then we can pull it right out the front.
Okay, Bill, let me know when you have everything disconnected and I'll pull this thing out.
All right, I'm just trying to get the water lines loose now. Man, somebody put this on with a vengeance. They wanted to make sure it didn't leak.
Yeah, well, that's good. Were you able to break it loose?
Yeah, I did. Not to worry. I can handle this. Okay, I got the water lines loose. Hang on. I got to take the electric off, the power cord. And of course, they put it in a great place.
Of course. It wouldn't be right if it was.
I wouldn't have anything to do with it.
You wouldn't have anything to do, yeah.
You know what? I bet I could find something. Okay, and I saved the worst one for last.
Oh, okay. Let me know if you need me to turn this or not. I'm holding it pretty tight for you.
Yeah, just hold on to it while I try to.
I got it.
Okay, and you turned the power off, right?
Yes, I did.
Or are you just trying to get rid of it?
Well, I was going to wait and see if you could find out if I turned the power off. The hard way in. Little water, a little power, it works well together.
Man, it looks like a rat's nest in here.
So how we coming there?
Just about done. I've got all the wire nuts off. I got to get the connector out of the box here.
Okay.
Which it doesn't want to go out, of course.
Of course not.
But I got it anyway. Hey, you know what? I'm loose.
Are you ready for me to pull it out?
Pull it out.
All right. Hey, Bill, nice work. Hey, good to see you on the other side.
Hey, why don't you come on in?
Well, I think you need to come out. We need to replace this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, come on.
I was just getting comfortable.
I know. We'll see you out here.
All right.
Okay, great. So, Bill, I thought you lost the bet. Why am I doing the scraping? I'm almost done with this thing, but...
Well, I figured you got the comfortable
Oh, okay.
seat now.
Oh, yeah. See, you're envious of my new chair here. Okay, now I'm just about done with this thing, but remember, you lost the bet. You owe me the next time we do this.
I can't forget. You won't let me forget.
I'm not going to let you forget. Count.
And I'm going to mark the direction of these fittings before I go to put it back.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to, instead of going, oh man, which way did that go?
Well, especially for you old guys, you know.
Hey, who are you talking?
I know I shouldn't be talking. Okay, this is just about clean. I will tell you this though, Bill. These guys did not spare any sealant when they put this thing in.
That was about the only thing they did?
Well, they did a few things, but I'll tell you what, this thing was gonna stay there.
They didn't spare any, they didn't, man, they got enough pipe dope here. We can.
No, we got enough pipe dope for a couple more fittings. All right, this is about as clean as we need to get it. I think it's pretty good. Okay. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take the fittings off and we're gonna put them onto the new.
Yeah, I'm gonna, here, once you, let's see, once you mark this one, looks like this one's straight up.
Yeah, and this one is down.
And this one right here.
Yeah, there you go.
That looks good. You know what, I noticed that one thing that they forgot, the yellow relay wire.
I noticed that wire is missing out of this box here. I'm not sure I understand why they left that out.
I'm not quite sure either, but you know what?
We need to put it back in.
Yeah, it's gotta have it.
Okay, so does that fitting come out, that grommet there, or?
It will, yeah. I need a pair of pliers to do it.
Right here, use this.
No, I need pliers.
You want to use pliers?
Yeah, it'll be easier. It'll pop right out of there.
There you go. All right, let me go put it back in here, on this side here.
Does it? So we can just reuse that. And this, the yellow wire is used, they have a relay in them right now that they didn't used to have. So if you have one of the wall switches with the gas and the electric switch combined in a wall switch, that will have the relay. If you have a separate switch for the gas and a separate switch for the electric, then it will not have this relay.
Let me have that pliers. I'm going to need to get a little bit more.
A little more leverage on
that? Well, because I don't have a whole lot of wire here, Bill.
Well, give me enough. Oh.
We need to go a little bit more here. I need to get more out of that.
Okay, yeah, get as much as you can, because it's got to go all the way to the front.
Let's see. Let's put it in here first.
Now I'm pretty much done with this leaker.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send that off to recycle.
Okay.
Because it is aluminum.
Get this guy back in place here. That's about as far as I can go with that.
While you're doing that, I'm going to put a little Teflon tape on these fittings.
Okay. I'm going to run this through this band here, the strap. Yeah, we got plenty of room now to hook her back up.
Attaboy.
All right. A little bit tight, but I think we'll be okay.
Man, what a mess.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's enough there for quite a few fittings.
I'm going to add a little Teflon tape just to
I think you need to
make sure, because there's nothing worse than getting it all together and finding out there's a little drip and you haven't got enough room to tighten it. One more. Here, while I'm doing that.
Yeah, why don't you
start one of those?
Right.
Careful, it's going to get goop all over
Boy,
you.
no kidding. Okay. Oh, you took my rag, Bill.
Oh, sorry.
Huh.
Want it back?
Just part of it. All right, we'll just tighten these puppies down.
We're going to need a bath after this.
Boy, no kidding.
Or some serious solvent. So, oh, you got the yellow wire in there.
Hey, we're ready to roll.
Hey, you did good. Attaboy. Yeah. Hold that. Oh, hang on to it while I tighten this down.
I think this is about where you're going to end up, right there. Oops.
Oop. I didn't like that lid anyway.
Yeah, we don't need it anyway, right? Okay.
That looks pretty good.
I think we're there. We just got to put this front back on.
Did you get all the sealer scraped off of that?
Yeah, all of it. Actually, there's a couple gaskets in here I got to pull out of here. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't have to be super clean.
Yeah. Okay.
Here.
We only get one shot to stick these puppies on.
Yeah, you better make it good,
I know.
or you're gonna be fired. You know how that works.
I know. Then I can really sit on my bucket here.
Wait a minute. That means I gotta do more work. Never mind.
Okay.
Right, what do you think?
I think it's time to put this guy together
So, we just want to make sure that we get this,
in the same spot.
yeah, in the correct spot. Hey, you did good.
Yeah, worked perfect.
Yeah, I think that's gonna work. So now here's the fun part. Getting these rings on here.
Yeah. You know,
Compression
I'm
rings.
surprised no one has built a tool for this. I know you could do it. You could get a piece of pipe the right size and make that work.
You could, with a little bit of help from you, they're not going to be too bad. And if we get lucky, hold it kind of right in here a little bit, and I'm going to kind of tap it with a.
Anyway, let me get it straight, real straight. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now we're there. We're there. Right there. Yep, we're just about there. Get that on the corner there. Yeah, I would get the smaller one if you can do it. There you go.
Yeah, this is a little more blunt, so I
Yeah.
kind of like it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, you're there.
Wait, we're not on here.
You're pretty close. There it is.
Yeah, once you break that corner, I don't know why they don't put a bevel on that. It would really go. Oh, you dog.
This isn't working at all. When I had my shop, I had a special made piece of pipe that I could actually knock these in place with, and this is not working even though the instructions tell you to do it with a blunt object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back apart and I'm going to taper the top edge of this to give it a little bit of a start.
Okay, let's move this here. Let's move these gaskets. There you go.
Yeah, grab that.
Okay.
This should give us a much better advantage if we can get a little bit of a start on it. What do you think, Rob? I think it'll fly?
Yeah, we're making a little bit of progress there now. I think we're going to get a lot closer here.
Yeah, if we can just get a little bit of a taper on here and get that ring a little bit better chance at
You want to
going
do a
down.
visual here in a second and see what we're looking like?
Well, I'm not around yet. Let me get it at least all the way around.
I think this one here is going to be a little bit tougher.
That one will be a little bit more fun. Because of that diagonal cut.
Right.
But not impossible.
Everything's possible.
Yeah, this is still way cheaper than, if you can do this yourself.
Oh yeah, you save a ton of money.
Yeah, these are 150 bucks or 180 bucks as opposed to $700 for a whole new water heater.
How's it looking?
Want to try it?
Yeah, let's give it a visual here. So, I think,
Let me give it just a
you know,
little
I
bit
think
more.
it needs a little bit more because I like
Yeah.
to see this thing kind of almost seat itself before we start pounding.
It'd be better if I had an aluminum file.
Yeah, because what's
It'd
happening
really
is it's
take it off.
plugging it up right now. Well, you know, there's always these contingencies that you don't count on.
No, and that's why they make a multitude of tools.
Yep, exactly.
There's usually always some way of doing it.
I know. There's always something to that kind of slows the process down a little bit.
Well, if we had
Just gotta
time, we could.
patience, yeah.
If we had time, we could go find a piece of pipe to fit over that. Take this with us, but we don't right now. What do you think? Just give that a shot.
I think that's going to be pretty close. I think if we hold it right there, I think we can do it.
All right, give me the faceplate and let's try it.
What do you want to try the other side first?
Oh, you want to file the other one?
Well, see there, we're going to take the faceplate off again.
God, such details.
I know, details.
You want to try it on there? See See, I think we're going to have to go.
I think we have no choice but to come in there and then just bang it in this way.
Yeah, maybe if
and
you
hopefully
hold it.
you have to keep it right at the edge here, and hopefully keep it from splitting.
It shouldn't split. It should expand. So, but let's. You want to give it a shot?
Okay. These gaskets in place. Okay. Good luck.
Upside down. Turn it. There you go. So keep that one lip as high as you can in the back here.
Yeah, I'm going to
get
do
it
that
near the top.
Yeah. Wow. Looks like a long way to go there, Bill.
You know what? Actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we need to be down like that.
You think so? But I hope you don't split it, though. Although it looks like it's working. Okay, now it's working. I see it working. Yep, there you go. It's going to make it. There you go. Just a couple more hits were there. Yeah, I already feel this one going up pretty nicely.
That looks pretty good, huh?
Well, it's on there. Just make sure that this is as tight as we can make it.
It's really tight.
Okay.
I mean, I had a lot of trouble getting it down in there, so it's really tight. Hey, you know what? While we're here,
let's put those back in.
Yeah, this would be a lot easier to do this right here.
And while we're here, we might as well put the pressure relief valve in too, huh?
Well, actually, it's easier
Actually, it's
to
probably
do it
easier
in there.
because when you're standing upright and you have a little more
well, and
support on it.
once this is tight, I've got more leverage, so.
All right.
And if you're careful, you can get this apart and reuse it. Now, I know which one is the ECO switch and which one is a thermostat. They're not marked most of the time. Some of the older ones had a yellow dot in the middle of the ECO switch, the emergency cutoff switch. So if you're not sure, if there's no marks that you can recognize, put a mark on the ECO switch. If you're lucky, you can still see the temperature on the back. The thermostat's always going to be about 140 degrees, and the ECO is going to be 180 degrees.
All right, good. Let's get this guy back into the
yeah, that one, everything looks good. You know what, we need to put another one of these here. And here again, we're trying to get this sealed from the inside. Anytime you have combustion, you have carbon monoxide, and you've got to make sure it's sealed from the inside. So we're going to do everything we can.
Okay, well,
let me straighten out this flange.
Yep, I'll move this thing
here. You want to straighten that one out?
Move this guy back into place, and you can get inside and hook her back up.
And what do you
We're
think?
okay here.
You know, before we do that, while we got it right here, let me attach this yellow wire. Let me get it.
Yeah. You have a butt connector there, or you want to do a wire tie?
This would be a lot easier to do this here.
Definitely.
Seems
boy, cut that pretty short.
Yeah, well.
Still got enough room.
Yeah, but remember the old one came out down below.
That's right. Yeah.
So we didn't have anywhere near this much slack. I'm butt connecting the yellow wire together that I cut earlier. Had to cut the yellow wire earlier because the yellow wire is attached to the faceplate. It goes into the faceplate. I didn't have any choice.
Oh boy, that's a little awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, but not impossible.
Not impossible, but.
Yeah, next time don't cut it off so short.
Yeah,
Bob.
really, yeah. I know. Okay.
This needs to go tucked down in here so we miss that.
So It looks like we're ready to put it back in. What do you think?
Well, not yet, Bill. I think we have to do a little bit of cleanup on the sidewall.
That's right.
And remember who lost the bet.
Ooh, that would be me.
That would be you. Let's go.
All right, give me the putty knife. Here, why don't you hold the putty tape?
I'll hold the putty tape. I will do that.
And I'll do this scrape in here, if I can. Fortunately, there's not a lot here.
No, it's pretty clean.
And it doesn't have to be spotless, because we're going to put the putty tape down and it's going to really seal, and then we'll seal around it.
Right. Just put a bead of silicone around that rubber silicone.
Yeah, and if you're doing this on a painted coach, you might want to put a little bit of masking tape or something around
Well,
it.
absolutely, yeah.
So you don't scratch the paint.
All right.
What do you think? You want to get that ready and I'll finish up here?
I think we're ready to.
Go ahead and start that edge and I'll just kind of finish cleaning up.
Here you go. Let's take it to here.
And then we'll just trim off the excess. So yeah, I think we're ready to put it back in. You want to grab it?
Yeah, let's get this thing in there. Want to pull those wires?
Yeah, let me get them up out of the way here. Okay, let's stop right there.
Let us tie these wires or connect these wires.
Okay, it was.
Get those. Good thing they're wired. They're color coded, huh?
Yeah, it's green to blue, right?
Green to blue. Well, fortunately, we checked before we took them apart.
No, and it's really easy to. If there are different colors, you can either cut them and leave a remnant, or write it on a piece of the color code on a piece of paper.
Or take a picture.
Or take a picture. Everybody's got a smartphone now, don't they?
They do, I think.
Well, almost everybody. I'm gonna double check. Looking good. Okay, let's
Rock this in carefully.
kind of gently rock it back in there. While you're going in, I'm gonna tuck these in here. Oh yeah, look at that.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna set a couple of screws.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to.
Yeah, that way I don't have to
get this
not
flange
kind
here
of
back.
wiggling on me, and
Yeah.
this will help kind of hold it in place while we.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I think we're in good
There's
shape.
good and solid. Feels good.
Yeah, okay. I guess you need to go inside and connect that thing, huh?
Well, let me finish. Let's put everything together here first. It'll make it a little bit easier.
We could do it that way.
So brown here. Thermal cutoff here. The red here. Actually, you know, before I get too much further, I need to put in that
That's right. We need to...
the new TP valve, so I don't have to fight that.
We'll be good as new pretty soon.
Pretty soon. It's looking great. Once we got past that one hurdle.
Yeah. The right tools means everything.
That looks good. And where's the burner assembly? Let me set one of the screws here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to drill a hole here to set this thing in here.
Yeah, no, it's self-tapping.
Is it self-tapper?
Yes. Not to worry.
Yeah, it's aluminum anyway.
Yeah,
Easy to get in.
yeah, it won't take.
Yeah.
Let me put another one in.
Yeah, so you can align it properly. just like that.
We got that in, we got that in. Red goes here.
So Bill,
Huh?
you're going to probably have to feed the gas line from inside.
Yeah, when we go inside, I'll feed it back out.
Okay,
When I go to hook up the water lines, I'll feed
All right.
it through.
All right, that'll work.
How's that look?
Well, it looks a lot better now that it went in place.
All right. You want to hold that there? Let's see. Let me get this.
Yeah.
Can you reach that one from that side?
Yeah. Yeah, I just had it lined up there a second ago.
Perfect. And last but not least, the circuit board.
Yep, good old circuit board.
The circuit board.
We are almost there.
You know what? We forgot the ground wire.
We did, didn't we?
Oops.
Oops.
Bad dog. But we didn't totally forget it because I caught it.
Okay, Bill, you just got the circuit board in. We
Yeah.
noticed that we didn't get the
While you're doing that, I'm going to hook up the electrode.
ground wire in there. Okay, I'll get the ground wire hooked up.
Yeah, they don't work too good unless you hook up the electrode to the board.
Yeah, you give me a push that in a little bit for me, if you will.
Where is it?
Right,
There
well,
it
you
is.
almost had it. Let's see here. No.
There it is. Go. Ah, perfect.
Perfect. Okay, ground wire success.
Okay, let me just double check here.
Okay, that's the...
We got the thermal cutoff, brown, brown, red, red. Tight here, tight there. The gas line, when I go back in to hook up the...
Why don't we put the plug in before we put the
plug
gas
in?
line in?
Then I'll go back in and I'll shove that gas line through.
And then we'll just clean this thing up and we'll be done. Oh, you have to hook up the
Yeah, I
back.
got to hook up the water lines.
Water lines and the
Romex.
Yep.
And we can put water to it.
Yeah, test her out.
So I'm going to start this with my fingers first.
Absolutely.
Because it's a plastic.
This is
sponge,
so
not
easy to
real
cross
strong.
thread. So easy.
Yeah, and then it'll leak for the next 50 years.
By the way, a little tip there. You know, a number of people put in metal plugs in there because they think that it'll do a better job of sealing.
Yeah, but make sure it's brass. Don't put
Right.
steel in
You
here
put
because the
it'll-
steel will weld itself
It'll
in.
weld it in there and you will be hating life if you do that.
And that's one of the reasons you don't use an anode rod on an Atwood water heater, because it's not compatible.
And a number of people will tell you, you'll sit around a campfire and people say, oh no, if it's good for the Suburban, it's good for the Atwood. So you put an anode rod in there and it's probably the last time it's ever coming out unless you want to drill it out, and that is not fun.
So I'm going to go ahead and start.
Okay.
And everything, I'm going to finish off the screws before I go inside. How's that here? Hold
Yeah, let's
these.
get
You can
these
get
in
these
there.
corner pieces.
Let's get these corner pieces in place here. I'll let you get away with it this time, Bill.
You have the other corner piece?
I do, right here. Okay, we'll do a bead of silicone rubber here, and I think we'll be set, huh? Want to punch that in there?
Yeah, I'm going to hang onto the door.
Go ahead. Perfect. There, you're in. Almost, almost. There you go. too.
Want to test it before we...
Oh, that looks good.
It looks good. Okay.
So even though you've taken a picture of everything the way it was, when you put it back together, let's just do a double check. The circuit board's in place. Both wires, both of the connectors are on the circuit board. The electrodes on the circuit board. We have the brown wire on the thermostat with the thermal cutoff on this side. The hot wire on this side. The two red wires that go to the ECO switch. The burner and gas valve are all tight. The baffle and the exhaust plate are all in place. The pressure relief valve is in place. So everything looks good. We got a good seal here around these. The drain plug is in place. So now let's go inside and hook up the water lines and put the gas line through. So I'm just gonna hook the water lines up first just to kind of get them out of my way, so I make it a little bit easier to do the electrical. Actually got these lined up pretty good, if you can believe it. It's going right on. Okay, I'm gonna pop the box off. I'm gonna pull these. I don't know why they put those wires through, but they do. And I'm gonna bring the Romex. And it's a little bit of a tight spot down in here. They don't leave you a whole lot of room, but I can make do. And this 120 volt Romex is really easy. It's just white to white, black to black, and green to either green or a bare wire, and it's always the same. They never deviate from that. So it makes it really easy to work with if you have room, which I don't. And green to the ground wire. Okay, I'm gonna double check them. We don't want these coming loose. You wanna make absolutely sure they're tight. One of them comes loose, it's gonna start arcing and create all kinds of problem. The looser it gets as the amperage flows, it can actually get so hot that it'll start melting wires. That snapped in, that feels good. And now I'm going to tighten the water lines. Good and tight, and now I'm going to feed that gas line out to Bob. Bob, you out there?
I'm here.
I'm going to feed this gas line out to you.
Okay, we got it out.
You should have it. You got it?
Yep, we're right on.
Looks good. Everything's in place. Looks good. Let's go outside, hook up the gas line, check for leaks, fill it with water.
Okay.
You already got the gas line started.
Well, I already started. All you got to do is tighten it down.
Good job.
And we'll get the gasket on there, and then we'll grommet, and we'll do a bunch of sealer on there and test her out. Okay, let's see if we can get that on there.
I can get it on there.
Okay, yeah, there you go. It's going pretty smoothly.
Okay, grommet's on there. I'm gonna add some more caulking to this to make absolutely certain it's sealed off.
While you're doing that, I just want to remind everybody that this project might take a little bit of, or probably most of your day, and you might, hit a couple of places where it gets a little rough. But remember, we saved probably more than $400 by replacing this inner tank instead of replacing the entire hot water tank, because this one, of course, it's a DSI and it's got the electric element in it, so it's probably one of the more expensive 6-gallon units that are on the market, so we saved a ton of money.
Yeah, whenever you add direct spark ignition and electric, they really get expensive in a hurry. So, hey, you know what we need to do is check for leaks.
I'll turn on the gas. I'll turn on the gas, yeah. Okay, give it a shot.
I think I'm making more bubbles.
I think you're making more bubbles than the bubbles are making. But then the gas is making bubbles.
Man, I don't see anything.
I don't see it. Let's pop this one in the back here and see if that's doing anything. Okay.
Looks great. Let me wipe up the excess here.
Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape.
No, it looks really good. I don't see any leaks. Normally when you pull these apart and they go back together on the same fittings, they don't leak if you get them tight enough. Just make sure you don't over tighten them.
But just a reminder, like we say all the time, every time you open up the gas system anywhere in an RV, you want to make sure that you get a pressure drop test done as soon as you can. And if you're not even breaking any of the lines open, at least once a year you want to do a pressure. Let us know when you're ready. Ready?
Yeah, I mean, there's a fitting here that leaks. There's a huge open flame here, so it's a recipe for disaster if you don't check it.
No, we noticed that we didn't get the
While you're doing that, I'm going to hook up the electrode.
ground wire in there. Okay.
Yeah, why don't we turn it on and check the flame?
Yeah, let's see if it works.
Wow.
Hey, looks good.
Looks great. Looks like hot water to me.
Looks like we're going to have a shower tonight after all.